Hi everybody, my name is Barry Schwartz and this is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, February 17th and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com over the past week. First up, that February 7th update that we covered last week seemed to be pretty big. We have hundreds and hundreds of comments on our first post, almost 100 comments on this It's Big post, and it seems like a lot of people are taking notice, both increases and decreases in terms of these updates. So if you did see significant changes on February 7th with your Google search results, rankings, and traffic and so forth, you are definitely not alone. It seems like the rankings are still fluctuating a lot. Google would not comment about it, which is my next story. They simply said they're not commenting. They didn't even give us the line that they're constantly changing stuff, but John Mueller did. When I emailed Google's press department, they said no comment. But when I reached out to John Mueller, these guys were always changing, the typical line. And then he makes a joke that, yeah, so was Rusty Brick. Rusty Brick's always changing and writing more posts every day. So, yeah, things are constantly changing. But if you did see significant changes around February 7th, you are definitely not alone. Check out your analytics, and you will not be surprised. Talking about Google traffic, Google image search in Germany and France and some other countries supposedly adopted the U.S. version of the design, which was released back in 2013 in the U.S. When that was released in the U.S., tons and tons of webmasters and SEOs and image owners said, hey, where's my traffic? And what happened was people noticed significant traffic drops when Google launched this new design back in 2013. That didn't roll out to Germany and France and other countries until a week ago. I'm not sure why. I asked Google, why did you release it in 2013 and then wait 3+ almost 4 years to release it in Germany, France, and other countries? And I asked Google what other countries has it been released in, and Google would not comment. That being said, webmasters are now noticing, and this is how I found it, huge traffic declines from Google Germany, Google France, and other international Google properties, specifically from image search. And what I noticed was that, hey, it's taking on the new user interface, not new, it's 3 or 4 years old, from the US, when webmasters also complained that they saw a traffic drop. Google said back then that you're not really losing real traffic. It just was like phantom traffic because Google image search, the old design, would load your image and it would feel like a visit when it wasn't. SEOs and webmasters don't believe that to be true exactly, but if you notice a significant drop in your traffic, specifically from image search, in the past several days, that's probably because of this change. And Google would only say, yes, we actually did release it to other countries. They wouldn't tell me which countries, and they wouldn't tell me why they waited 3 or 4 years to push it out to all these other countries. I assume it's legal reasons. I'm not sure. In the past 24 hours, I spotted dozens of threads in the Google Webmaster Help forums, as well as other forums and Twitter and so forth, that Google's marked their site in the search results as not being mobile friendly. So, for example, here's an AT&T snippet saying your page is not mobile friendly, but if you plug it into the mobile friendly testing tool at Google, it says the page is mobile friendly. Same thing, I did a search. This is multiples, probably dozens of websites complaining, which means there's lots of other websites that have this issue. Even my AMP page was marked as not mobile friendly. How is AMP not marked as mobile friendly? One thing you notice is that most of the sites, not all, but most of the sites are in the red when it comes to page speed. But as of like an hour ago, or even half hour ago, it seems like the pages are now mobile friendly. They're not being marked as not mobile friendly in the search results. They're being marked as mobile friendly without this label. So I guess Google changed something. I'm not sure if it's a bug. Some people are saying it's page speed, but I spotted several examples of people complaining where their page speed score was not red, but it was green. It was like 94, 95, which is really fast page speed, and the mobile friendly testing tool showed them as mobile friendly, but the label said not mobile friendly. Of course, this could all be timing stuff, but the increase and spike of complaints in the Google Webmaster forums said to me that there was some type of bug or something. But again, I emailed Google. We'll hopefully hear back soon. Also, something that Google has is that back in 2015, Google dropped emojis from the search results. So you wouldn't be able to see these emojis in the actual snippets and so forth. But now they're back. You can see them in the search results. They're all over the place. I'm not sure why Google brought them back. I asked Google for a comment. Still waiting. But they are back in the search results, at least for now. I don't know if it's a bug or a feature, but they are back in the search results. Google's, that top carousel feature I've been talking about. So now they're actually listing who are the best SEO companies. So here's a list of, best SEO companies. Let me zoom in there. You can take a look at that. So we got Boostability, iCrossing, Bruce Clay, and a bunch of other sites out there that are known by Google now as best SEO companies. It's hard to say what's powering this. I believe it's pulling from third-party websites like a featured snippet. So it's trusting third-party websites to say these are the top SEO companies. I don't believe it's a knowledge graph feature. I believe it's more of a featured snippet, which is totally different. And John Mueller actually said it's an algorithm that does it. I assume it's an algorithm that figures out what to pull for a featured snippet carousel. And Gary from Google implied that it is pulling from third-party websites, which we discussed previously. So congratulations to all those SEO companies. There were only 10 listed there that are the best SEO companies according to Google. Google feature snippets seems to be often now followed by people also ask. So in many examples, not all, but in many examples, what you see is that you have the feature snippet followed by this people also ask drop down. Featured snippet, people also ask. And it goes on and on. There's tons of examples. I'm not sure if it was a bug, a feature, where Google wants to increase the number of feature snippets that are shown based on this people also ask feature. Talking about people also ask, sorry for spitting at the camera, but people also ask is one of those spinning type of words. If you check it out on mobile or desktop, sometimes now when you click on a people also ask feature, it would actually dynamically load. It will also dynamically load more people also ask questions. Let's see if this shows up or not. So I don't know if it's working, but basically what happens is if you click it, it will expand and show you more. I showed you an example of Google testing this about a year ago, and now, according to Google, it's actually fully launched and live. Sorry, I can't show you that in live, but you can test that yourself by just loading any of those people also ask features. Gary from Google said, did you know? One of his many did you knows, read your content. He basically said if you read your content, let me read what he wrote. If you read out loud the text on your page and it doesn't sound natural, that piece of text may weigh much less during rankings. It's just a common knowledge thing, you know, you want your content to read well, and Google knows their algorithms, Panda, and so forth, know that as well. So just a little tidbit, so make sure to read your content out loud. It's good advice. I never do it, but you should definitely do it. Google may be releasing more schema support for jobs, carousels, and more. So Aaron Bradley spotted this. Jobs link, it's removed, and all these other links, carousels, data feeds, all these things 404. So more schema support looks like it's coming to Google Search, which is good. John Mueller explained the difference between fast track indexing and normal indexing. Fast track indexing is like when Google first finds the page, either by you submitting it to the index using the fetch as Google or some other methods, and it's in the index for a little bit, and then it drops out, and then the normal indexer gets it. So the fetch as fast track indexing, you often see when a new website comes up or new URLs come up and Google indexes it fast and maybe it drops down or drops out completely, and then Google will pick it up again, and then Google calls that fast track indexing. Google's search results are now 45%, at least the top search results are now 45% linking to HTTPS results, which is cool. And according to Pete Myers, he thinks it's going to hit 50% within 3 months or so. Google said manipulating the back button on your browser does not impact the search results. Why? Because Google doesn't take into account pogo sticking or people clicking back to the search results. That's not a ranking factor. That's not a ranking signal, Google says. Google said we review spam reports. So if you submit a web spam report, they usually review it within hours or even days. Obviously, it depends on if you submit on the weekends or so forth. And of course, they don't necessarily act on all of that, but they submit it really quickly and they review all those spam reports as well, unless they're spam reports. Google's Miley Ohe went ahead and released a video on how to hire an SEO company or an SEO consultant. So she has this 12-minute, 11-minute video on what you should do when you're evaluating on hiring an SEO consultant or SEO a company, and it's definitely worth watching that video. It's pretty good. And in that video, she said, and accurately it looks like, that SEOs need to be given 4 to 12 months to actually see the results of their labor. And I actually did a poll, which I'll have hopefully more data soon, but we have currently about 500 plus votes, and it seems like most people say by far 4 to 12 months is definitely enough, 6 to 12 months also, and so forth. Only about 15% said 1 to 3 months is enough. Almost done. Google's Gary from Google basically released all these did you know tweets related to webmaster and SEO stuff. I have a post about it on February 14th with probably close to a dozen of them. Definitely worth reading. I'm not going to go through them all now because the video is going long. And finally, Google Search Console, the reports for for the crawl status and errors report, specifically for mobile apps using Firebase app indexing, has updated, and you may see an increase or decrease in the pages indexed based on that because they have more accurate reporting. It doesn't affect your indexing really, but it affects your report here. In any event, thanks so much for listening to the Search Buzz Video Recap. My name again is Barry Schwartz, and today again is Friday, February 17th. That was the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at SEORoundtable.com. Everyone have a great weekend. I'll see you guys next. Bye.